Thank you and welcome to all the fight fans, the media here in Los Angeles. What a spectacular place here in downtown Los Angeles. I'd like to thank my friend and owner of the Patina Group who owns the restaurant here, Cafe Pino, for making this sensational place available for us today. Before we're going to start the press conference though, I would like to ask you for a moment of silence for a good friend of all of us, a friend of the sport of boxing who has passed away a week ago. And that of course is the WBC President Jose Sulaiman. So please, a moment of silence for President Jose Sulaiman. Thank you very much. May you rest in peace. This card here on March 8th is really an infomercial for the sport of boxing. Remember those, like you're ready to order and it's like, but wait, there is more. But wait, there is more. That's the kind of card this is. One great fight after another, action-packed. Here we call it toe-to-toe. In Mexico, they call it mano a mano, which is obviously hand-to-hand. So whether if it's toe-to-toe or hand-to-hand, no matter what body parts are involved, the fact is, this is going to be an action-packed card with non-stop action. The kind of card you want to make sure you have your carne asada and your cervezas ready when the first fight goes live on Showtime pay-per-view at 6 o'clock. But as I said before, but wait, there is more. There's going to be a freebie available to everyone with the TV set. It's going to be Jorge Linares against Mijito Arakawa. Jorge Linares, one of the most talented fighters, and Arakawa, one of the most action fighters in the sport, who was involved a year ago in a great toe-to-toe action, a Fight of the Year candidate against Omar Figueroa. That fight, Linares and Arakawa, will be available for free for everyone to see on Freeview. At 6 o'clock, we'll be moving into the pay-per-view part of the card, opening up with Carlos Molina versus Jermall Charlo for the IBF Junior Middleweight Championship of the World. Then we have Figueroa against Ricardo Alvarez for the WBC Lightweight World Championship. Moving on to Leo Santa Cruz against Christian Mijares for the WBC Super Bantamweight World Championship. And then for toe-to-toe action, the definition of toe-to-toe action is going to be the return of Saul Canelo Alvarez against Alfredo Angulo. Now, if that is not a card, then tell me what is. Saturday, March 8th at the MGM Grand. We went on sale with the tickets last Friday, and almost 6,000 tickets are sold already. I expect a full sellout at the MGM. Make your trip to Las Vegas. Tickets are available starting at $25, $50, $100, $200, $400, and $600. There are $25 tickets there to see this unbelievable card live from the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. The card is promoted by Golden Boy Promotions and Canelo Promotions, sponsored by Corona and AT&T, and as I mentioned before, distributed by the leader in boxing, the leader in pay-per-view boxing, live boxing, who has had an unbelievable 2013 and is going to have an even bigger 2014. Yes, that's Showtime. It's going to be Showtime on March 8th, and it's a pleasure now for me to introduce to you the head of Showtime Boxing, of Showtime Sports, Steven Espinosa.
Thank you, Richard. Showtime Pay-Per-View is very proud and very excited to be bringing you this tremendous action-packed card. This is a card filled with exciting matchups, as Richard has described, some of the most popular fighters in the sport. We've got young stars, we have established veterans, we've got knockout artists. This is a card that has a little bit of everything. This is really the card for the true fight fan. This event, of course, is headlined by boxing's newest superstar, Saul Canelo Alvarez. But he is taking on the most dangerous opponent of his career, Alfredo El Perro Angulo. Angulo is without question the hardest puncher, the strongest fighter that Canelo has yet faced, and I have no doubt this will be an action fight for as long as it lasts. Over the last couple of years, Golden Boy Promotions and Showtime have become known for stacking their cards with high-quality, action-packed action from top to bottom. And this fight will feature 4 top-quality fights as for the pay-per-view, plus 1 more bonus fight airing on Showtime. That's the Jorge Linares fight, which will be a preview to the pay-per-view. An event of this size, of course, will be accompanied by Showtime's signature series, All Access, which gets you closer to the action than anyone else. We're with these boxers in their training camps, at home, with their families. We literally follow them around the world so we can bring it to you before the fight. Episode 1 will premiere on Friday, February 28th on Showtime at 9 p.m. Episode 2 will premiere the Wednesday before the fight. That's Wednesday, March 5th at 10 p.m. on Showtime. Make sure to check the Showtime website, that's sports.sho.com, for more info. See you in March.
Thank you, Stephen. Molina and Charlo are both not here, but as I mentioned before, it's going to be for the IBF Junior Middleweight Championship of the World. With Molina, we have an experienced fighter, and with Jamal Charlo, we have a young fighter going for the world title. That's the kind of opportunities we like to create for fighters, opportunities to fight for the world title. As I mentioned to you, next up is going to be Omar Figueroa against Ricardo Alvarez. Omar Figueroa, with the record of 22-0, 17 knockouts, is from McAllen, Texas. Clearly a fast-rising star in the sport of boxing, always comes to fight, always exciting, the kind of guy who is never in a boring fight. And he's going to be here to defend his world title against the brother of Saul Alvarez, Ricardo Dinamito Alvarez. Ricardo has a record of 23-2-3. He's from Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, and he's going to try to become world champion by beating Figueroa. Of course, this would be the first time, actually, in Mexican history that one family, in boxing history, that one family has produced 3 world champions. Saul's brother, Rigoberto, used to be the 154-pound world champion. Then, of course, Canelo, and now Ricardo is going to go and try to become the 3rd one in the family to become world champion. Please welcome Ricardo Dinamita Alvarez.
Buenas tardes a todos. Sé que estoy ante la mejor pelea de mi vida, ante la mejor oportunidad de mi vida. Estoy muy contento por eso, por la oportunidad que me brinda mi equipo, la promotora.
Good afternoon, everybody. I know this is a big opportunity for me. It's the best time for me. I understand this opportunity that my promoter's given me.
Sé que va a ser una gran pelea, por el estilo de los dos peleadores, y más que nada estoy motivado porque está en mis manos hacer historia entre nosotros como familia.
I know it's going to be a great fight because of the styles. Both styles of both fighters. We're both aggressive. It's going to be a very good fight. And I'm motivated because I can make history for me and my family, for boxing history.
Y me voy a subir a dar todo para lograr esa historia. Ya lo hicimos en una ocasión en Guadalajara, que peleamos los 7 hermanos en una sola función. Entonces, ahora me toca volver a hacer historia.
And I'm going to give it my all. I'm going to give it my all to make history. We did it once before in Mexico when all 7 brothers fought on one night. So I'm motivated for that.
Así que nos vemos el 8 de marzo. Gracias.
I'll see you all March 8th. Thank you.
The next fight is going to be 12-round WBC Super Bantamweight World Championship of the World, where Leo Santa Cruz is, the 2 mentioned before, one of the most action-packed fighters in the world today, irrespective of weight class, is going to defend his title against fellow Mexican, former world champion, 3-time world champion, action fighter, Christian Mijares. I'd like to acknowledge as well Pepe Gomez from Cancun Boxing, as the co-promoter of Christian Mijares. Pleasure to have you here. Christian Mijares has a record of 48-7 from Gomez Palacio, Durango, Mexico, and defines the word Mexican warrior. Always comes to fight. His last 15 fights, he won 14 of them, 14 wins in a row, has earned him the shot here at the World Championship. It's going to be, without any question, the most difficult and most dangerous fight Leo Santa Cruz had in his career. Two Mexicans going at it. That always means that extra firework. This is for pride. This is for pride to win the world title, but it's for pride of Mexico. Who is going to be the world champion? It's a pleasure now for me to introduce to you Christian Mijares.
Buenas tardes a todos.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Estoy muy contento de regresar a una cartelera tan grande y encabezar la semifinal a una gran pelea como de Canelo y la de Angulo.
I'm very happy to be in a big card, such a big card like this, be the co-main event to a fight with Canelo and Angulo.
Y motivado, muy motivado, ¿no? Regresar, es mi regreso, primeramente Dios. Vamos a enfrentarnos a un gran campeón que es Leo Santa Cruz.
I'm motivated because I'm coming back, and I know it's going to be a very good fight against Leo Santa Cruz. He's a good fighter.
Pero vengo muy motivado, con mucha actitud, no vengo a regalar nada, vengo a ser campeón del mundo y primeramente Dios el 8 de marzo lo vamos a lograr primero Dios.
And I'm motivated. I'm coming here to win. I'm coming to be a world champion. I'm not going to give away anything, and I'm expecting to win.
Es todo lo que voy a decir. Muchísimas gracias a todos.
That's all I have to say. Thank you very much, everyone.
Va a ser una guerra.
It's going to be a war. Thank you.
One of the most exciting fighters in the world, irrespective of weight class. Most skilled, speed, the right timing, has the power to knock people out, always entertaining, and one of the nicest, truly nicest guys outside of the ring. Yes, I'm describing the WBC world champion, Leo Terremoto Santa Cruz.
Muy buenas tardes a todos. Primeramente le quiero dar gracias a todos los fans, a toda la gente que nos viene a apoyar. Si no fuera por ustedes, no estuviéramos aquí. También le quiero dar las gracias a Golden Boy, Richard Schaefer, y a todo el equipo de Golden Boy, a Sam, a mi manager, a Gemen, que también gracias a él estoy en el nivel que estoy ahorita. Sí, a mi papá también, que desde chiquito mi papá siempre me ha apoyado y ha estado aquí conmigo. Y aunque antes me enojaba con él y todo, pero ahora se lo agradezco porque si no, no estuviera aquí. Y nomás quiero decir que, como dice Christian Mijares, va a ser una gran pelea. Él es un gran campeón y viene preparado, yo sé que viene bien y quiere ese cinto para atrás, pero yo también he batallado tanto para lograr donde estoy y también venimos al 100% y vamos a hacer una guerra allá arriba del ring y que gane el mejor. Y los que van a ganar son los fans. Vamos a dar una gran pelea y ojalá la vengan a apoyar el 8 de marzo. Y a los que no me conocen, ordenen la pelea y ahí que sepan quién es Leo Santa Cruz y ojalá algún día llegue a ser como Canelo o como Perro y estar en su nivel de ellos. Pero para eso vamos a entrenar muy duro y ojalá un día estemos en su lugar de ellos. Gracias. Good afternoon to everybody. I just want to say that I'm very happy to be here. I want to give thanks to Golden Boy, Richard, Showtime. Thanks to Showtime. A lot of people know me. I have a lot of fans. To Espinosa, thank you very much. I want to give thanks to my manager. Thanks to him, I'm at the level I am. I never thought I was going to be at this level, and thanks to him and thanks to the SWAT team. I just know I'm happy and I'm very prepared for this fight. Mijares is a great fighter. When I was really beginning my career, I used to see him fight. One time I sparred against Jose Navarro to help him fight against Mijares, and I watched that fight and I know he's a great fighter and he's gonna give me a great fight. But we come 100% ready and we're gonna try to give the whole world a great fight, and hopefully it's one of the best fights of the night. Thank you.
without any question, this could be a main event in its own, and as I said, but wait, there is more. Yes, there's Angulo and Alvarez as well, but what a fight this is going to be. So for all of you Latinos, Mexicans out there, this year we are going to celebrate Cinco de Mayo on Ocho de Marzo. So this is going to be a great night for fight fans. This is the card you want to see. And certainly Santa Cruz and Mijares, I think you could sense that they both, one wants to keep the title and the other one wants to win it. Now in the next fight, there is no belt at stake, but there's pride at stake. There is the will to win at stake. Alfredo Angulo has been waiting for this opportunity. And Canelo Alvarez wants to come back and show the world what he is all about. How exciting he is, how good he is, he's 23 years young, and how the world, the future of boxing, is all ahead of him. For both guys, it's a must-win situation. For both guys, there's a lot at stake. It's not a belt, but it's the pride, it's the recognition in the world of boxing, and it's the pride and the recognition in Mexico to be considered the best at 154. Team Angulo, Alfredo Angulo has a great team behind him, has been with the team for a long time. I'd like to acknowledge Michael Miller, Angulo's manager, who is right back there. I'd like to acknowledge Lucy Haro, the attorney, friend of, right there she is, done an amazing job behind the scenes in so many respects for Alfredo. And then I'd like to introduce to you now a trainer who is without any question considered one of the best trainers in the world, in the sport of boxing today, and that is Virgil Hunter. It's a pleasure for me now to introduce to you Virgil Hunter.
Thank you, Richard. Thanks for everybody being here, Showtime, Steven, Golden Boy, and all these great fighters up here. It's a pleasure to be part of this event that's going to take place on March 8th. I'm thrilled to be involved in it, and I'm thrilled to have met Alfredo Angulo last year and be part of his career. I think this fight is going to go down to their last fights. And the last fight say quite a bit about each man, and each man that had to execute a strategy to win the fight. In my heart, with Alfredo's situation, I have no problem saying it all, and they can take it back to Houston wherever they want to. He had Israel Lara. He had him until he had an unfortunate incident that's part of boxing when he got stuck in his eye. I heard you all say today in the conference, the press conference, the phone conference, that he implied that Mayweather ran from him. Well, you know, Israel Lara moves around pretty well too, so we had to develop a strategy to cut the rein. And that's what Alfredo did, and put him down twice and almost ended his career, gave him the worst beat he ever had in his Cuban career. So I think that Saul should have applied the same strategy with Floyd and not complain that he's fighting a runner. But nonetheless, in this particular fight, there won't be any running. And I think each man sleeps at night, and really without us telling each one what he is and pumping him up and telling him and making excuses for him, each man has to sleep and think on his own. Each man has to come to grips on why he lost this fight, his last fight. And each man has to come to grips on what he's going to do in his next one. So I'm glad to be part of these great warriors on March 8th. And with all respect to both teams, may the best man win.
Thank you, Virgil, as always, very well said. Alfredo Angulo, if you open up the dictionary, it spells excitement. That's what he is. Every single time he enters the ring, there is excitement. There's never a moment of being bored in an Angulo fight. You just don't know what's going to happen. Do you guys remember the Fight of the Year candidate in 2011 down in Mexico against James Kirkland? What a great battle that was. Or more recently, the fight with Erislandy Lara, as Virgil said, had Lara deep in trouble, had him twice down, and then the fight had to be stopped because of an eye injury. He is excited, he comes to fight, and he's been waiting for this opportunity. It's a pleasure for me now to introduce to you, with a record of 22-3, from Mexicali, Baja California, Alfredo El Perro Angulo.
Primero que nada, muchas gracias a toda la media que está aquí presente.
First of all, thank you all the media that's here present.
Y a los fans que no pueden faltar. Muchísimas gracias por estar aquí.
To all the fans, thank you very much for all the support and being here.
Quiero dar las gracias primero a Showtime por esta oportunidad, porque es el primer pay-per-view y en Showtime hice mi primer main event.
And thank you to Showtime for this great opportunity. It's the first pay-per-view of the year, and I'm in the main event.
Muchas gracias a Golden Boy, en especial a Richard Schaefer por esta oportunidad y por esta confianza que me están dando por una oportunidad tan grande.
And thank you, of course, to Golden Boy and especially Richard Schaefer for having the confidence in me and giving me this opportunity.
Y quiero agradecerle muy especial a un fan que está aquí presente, Sky, que es un niño que está malito, todavía está sentado en su silla.
And I want to thank especially Sky, who's one of my biggest fans, who's over there sitting down in his wheelchair.
He was my fan for many years ago. I think so 2007 he just started when my career. Solo quiero decirles que el perro siempre les dice lo mismo, que siempre que miren el nombre del perro Angulo en cualquier cartelera va a ser un gran espectáculo.
I just want to tell you guys that I'm the same Alfredo Angulo. I'm always going to give you guys a great fight. That's what I do in every fight.
Yo creo que me he ganado el respeto de la gente por mis peleas y el 8 de marzo entre dos mexicanos, entre Canelo Álvarez y el perro, va a ser un gran espectáculo.
And I think that I've earned my respect through my fights, the way I fight. And March 8th is going to be no different.
Y es un día muy especial porque es el día mundial de la mujer, así que creo yo que es un día muy especial y muchas mujeres van a estar presentes.
And I think it's a special day because it's Women's Day. It's Women's Day throughout the world, so it's going to be a special day.
Muchas gracias, saben que no me gusta hablar mucho y no sé hablar mucho. Muchísimas gracias, solo quiero agradecerle otra vez a Golden Boy y a Showtime por todo.
And thank you once again. Thank you all for being here. I don't like to talk too much. Thank you all. And once again, thank you, Golden Boy. Thank you, Showtime.
He clearly is today Mexico's #1 superstar. His last fight generated ratings which broke all TV records in Mexico. Over 60% of all households were tuned in, watching his fight. He's the idol in Mexico, has a tremendous following, the sport, and with the women. Yes, the women. So it's a perfect day for him to fight on Women's Day. I'd like to introduce to you first his team, Jose Chepo Reynoso, Canelo's manager.
Muy buenas tardes, gracias a todos por su asistencia.
Good afternoon, thank you all for being here.
Estilos hacen peleas y los estilos de Saúl y del perro se van a acomodar. Y si un mexicano es garantía de espectáculo, imagínense 2, imagínense 4 o 6 como van a ser los mexicanos que van a participar en esa cartelera. Seguramente va a ser una noche de guerra.
Styles make fights, and this is a can't-miss fight because of the styles. And if it's always a guarantee that a Mexican makes a good fight, imagine 2, imagine 4, imagine 6 of them on the same card.
Para el equipo Reynoso es muy importante esa noche porque también el equipo Reynoso quiere hacer historia, porque ya hizo historia haciendo en una función 7 hermanos Álvarez, porque ese mismo día, 8 de marzo, se va a coronar el tercero de los Álvarez, de los hermanos que nunca se ha dado en México. Entonces vamos a hacer historia y y va a ser historia Saúl Álvarez en su triunfal regreso. Muchas gracias.
And it's going to be a special night because for Team Reynoso, we're also looking to make history because we've already done it with two brothers, made them world champions, and we're going for the third to make him a world champion. So it's going to be a special night. Thank you very much.
The man who has been in Canelo's corner since the very beginning is Eddie Reynoso, who is Canelo's trainer. It's a pleasure for me now to introduce to you trainer Eddie Reynoso.
Buenas tardes a todos los aquí presentes.
Good afternoon, everybody here present.
Como siempre, muy contentos de estar aquí en Los Ángeles, que toda la gente pues apoya mucho al boxeo.
And like always, we're very happy and to be here in Los Angeles. Great fans here, they support boxing.
La verdad, nosotros respetamos mucho a los peleadores mexicanos y más que nada un boxeador como el Perro, que pues es sinónimo de lucha, de garra, y nos vamos a preparar muy bien para ese compromiso.
And like always, we always respect Mexican fighters. You have to respect them, especially a fighter like Perro Angulo, who's a very tough fighter, very good fighter, very strong.
Estamos haciendo las cosas bastante bien. Tenemos la confianza que con una buena preparación vamos a hacer una gran pelea. Y como le reitero, el Perro Angulo es un peleador muy fuerte, muy aguerrido, y yo creo que es uno de los rivales más duros en la carrera de Saúl. Para eso nos vamos a preparar y pues vayan a verla porque va a ser una guerra.
We're preparing very well for this fight. That's what you need in this fight, because Alfredo Angulo is a very tough fighter. He's a very strong fighter. He's very tough. So we're preparing very well. We know what we have ahead of us.
Muchísimas gracias y esperamos que ese día pues vayan a apoyar al boxeo mexicano, ya que van a ser 3 peleas entre mexicanos.
So thank you very much once again for being here, and hopefully on March 8th you guys come and support Mexican boxing because there's 3 great Mexican fights that night.
Gracias.
Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon.
Without any further ado now, superstar from Mexico with a record of 42 wins and 1 loss. In Guadalajara, Jalisco, México, Saúl El Canelo Álvarez.
Primero que nada quiero agradecer a todos mis fans que siempre están presentes apoyándome.
First of all, I want to thank all my fans that are here. They've always supported me.
A todos los medios que siempre están apoyándonos también, muchas gracias.
Also all of you in the media that have always supported me throughout my career, thank you very much.
Muchos preguntan que por qué Alfredo.
Many have asked why Alfredo.
Porque él es un peleador fuerte, es un peleador que siempre va al frente, es un peleador que aguanta, que pega, y es un peleador que viene a pelear.
Because he's a very good fighter, he's a very strong fighter. He's a fighter that comes forward, he knows how to give a punch, how to take a punch, and he comes to fight.
La gente quiere ver, ustedes quieren ver una pelea, no alguien que esté corriendo toda la noche.
I'm sure all of you want to see a fight. You don't want to see someone that's going to be running all night.
Esa noche nos vamos a preparar muy bien para esa noche, brindarles una bonita pelea. Me da gusto que haya fans de él, pero los míos son los mejores. Muchas gracias.
I'm going to prepare myself very well to give you guys a great fight, and I'm glad that many of his fans are here, but my fans are better.
Gracias a todos nuevamente y nos vemos el 8 de marzo.
Thank you all once again, and we'll see you March 8th.
Don't miss it, don't miss it. March 8th, a stacked pay-per-view card in the tradition of Golden Boy. Exciting fights, exciting night, toe-to-toe, mano-a-mano, March 8th, Showtime, pay-per-view, live from the MGM Grand for as little as $25. You can be there and watch it live in Las Vegas. See you all there. Thank you.